welcome back to the Polymer Clay channel. So today I'm going to show you how to trace from paper to polymer clay. Now, I've never been a drawer, cannot draw. I really struggle with it. I drew an eye once, I think maybe 20 years ago. I have it still somewhere. However, I've never been someone that can think of shapes and put them all together and all of a sudden create something that you actually recognise. So I am tracing today. The pictures that I've found, 2 of them are from Temu on t-shirts. So they don't have any copyright or anything like that. And the last one I found from ChatGPT. If you've not heard of ChatGPT, it's the saviour of life as far as I'm concerned. You probably have. It's brilliant. You put something in there and you think, I want to know this or that, could be absolutely random, and it will give the answer to something. So yeah, one of them today has come from ChatGPT. Yeah, so today I'm going to show you how to make 3 different types of dogs. Of course, they're going to be like my dogs. And I'm going to show you how I did it. So without further ado, here we go! thanks for watching the tutorial. So this is the show and tell part where I talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and basically how you can do better. So I'm going to talk about what I've made, and then I'm going to share some hints and tips, and it would also be great if you could subscribe. So I'm going to start in order that I made them because I kind of liked doing it that way. So I'm going to start with this one. Now I have kept them on the tile on the basis that it makes it easier for me to hold up and I don't break anything. And also, yes, I am a little bit terrified to take it off. I will be scooching a tissue blade underneath at some point and taking it off, but for the time being and as it is, I'm going to keep it on the tile because I didn't want to break it before I did at least this stage of the video. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to show you a nice close-up. So here we go with the ears, and then the face part there, and then obviously the collar. Now I love doing this because I get the perspective right. I get it so that it looks 3D, however it is not, it is extremely flat. So yeah, I did it in stages as you saw from the tutorial. It didn't really come to life until I put all of the soft chalks on it and all of the little details. So it is very much trust the process. Now I like doing this because it gives me an outline, it gives me sort of a process of where I'm going to put things, where I'm going to put certain features. Now I have changed this slightly. I've given it a little bit more of a shaggy sort of ears, and then on the sides here, and this is literally just chopping the clay a little bit and making it a little bit rough, literally just to give it that kind of furry look. Now there's no texture on this whatsoever, but if you want something to look like it's got a little bit of fur on it, just do this because it just instantly transforms it into something that looks like it's a furry animal, which is crazy to me. There's all these people out there that draw and do cool stuff, and all of a sudden you think, oh, that's a couple of circles, and then all of a sudden it turns into something. It's absolutely fascinating to me, but I really find it difficult to kind of start. I have this blank page theory. If you're staring at a blank page or a blank tile in my case, I don't know where to start. So I always like to have a starting point, and even if you did just outline and then did the rest freehand, it would definitely work out. My favourite part of this is the collar. One, because it curls around the neck, as it's a great way of showing that it's 3D. So you basically create it to the point, and it looks like it goes behind, so therefore it creates something that looks like it's 3D. Now I am quite fascinated with this. I was very impressed with this. It didn't take me as long as I thought it would. But it was my first one in such a long time. I haven't done anything like this before on my channel, but I have traced things, but they've always been something different. They haven't ever been an animal or something that would look anything like one. But I do recommend doing this because it is so fun, but it is definitely a trust the process situation. Anyway, this one is obviously Oscar. You can call him whatever you like, but he looks similar to Oscar, obviously not exactly, but yeah, this one is going to be Oscar. Okay, so here is the next one, and he needs no introduction whatsoever. So this one's, I'm going to say it right now, this one's my favourite. He just turned out literally just how I wanted him, to be honest. So let's do a nice close-up. So I'm going to go right out of shot so you can see exactly all of the details. Again, I've made sort of the shaggy ears again. Now his face has got 2 layers, and this is on the basis that, to me, as far as I was concerned, he didn't have enough kind of fur or shagginess of him. And of course, as you well know, with the schnauzers, they're quite shaggy looking, and I just needed him to have something else. So I put that on again. So of course then with this, his eyes were more set back a little bit, which gives it the 3D look. And again, it's flat. I wanted it to have a 3D look, but I didn't want it to be 3D. I didn't want it to be extra heavy or anything like that. So by doing that extra layer, it just gave it that little bit extra thickness and then set the eyes back a little bit and made it look more 3D, even though it isn't. So I really liked that part of it. It was good for me to experience that because now I know for next time that that is a good way of making things a little bit more 3D looking without it being that. Now let's move on to the body. As the picture showed, it is a very skinny neck, and obviously not in proportion, but I just loved it from the drawing. I thought it was really, really cool. So with this, I did make a different collar because when I got Link, he had this type of collar, and I do still have it, but it was leather, and one of the other dogs chewed through it. So He doesn't wear that collar anymore, but I just wanted him to have the collar that he had on originally. So I made him that collar, and he had a little disc with the address on it and everything. So I thought that was really cute. And then, as you can see here, lots of shaggy sort of cutouts, and that's basically how you create that sort of look to it as well. And I just love the way it looks. Now, that didn't look like that in the picture, but I couldn't think of any other way, and I didn't want to sort of pattern this part here. I wanted it to be on the outside to give the impression of fur. Now, with this part here, now with the legs, although it was sort of traced on, I then made extra parts to go on top, because again, it sticks out just that tiny little bit more so that you get the impression of it being 3D. So this is the close-up. I think it looks really, really cool. Of course, I put a little heart in there. It did have a little heart in the original picture, so I thought, why not? And yeah, I just love the way that's turned out there. Now, I have made some edits to this. Now, in the picture, it didn't have big eyebrows. Now, Link does have very big eyebrows. I do like to grow them out quite a bit. They do look cute. So off camera or on camera, I can't remember if I filmed it or not, but I will definitely leave it in if I did. It was a bit of a pain in the butt to do, to be honest, but here we go. So yeah, they stick out a little bit, and it gives him a little bit more of that sort of shaggy look, and it gave him a really cute kind of expression as well. There was a bit where I kind of folded the eyebrows down a little bit more, and it completely changed his expression, so I had to be careful where I put it to make him look cute and not angry. So that sort of gave me a bit of a perspective of how much eyebrows do actually change faces. It just, yeah, it was fascinating. And then of course I made him to have a little bit of a tuft at the top there to give him some cool looks. But yeah, so that's all I can say about this one. Again, I am terrified of getting this off the tile. I'm going to do it very, very slowly, but I did want to film beforehand so I didn't have to worry. And yeah, if any accidents happen, I've already filmed it, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do it after, and I probably won't do this in time for the glamour shots, but they are going to be either a really, really big magnet, or they're going to be hanging decorations. And no, at the moment, I've got no idea where these are going in my house, but they are going to get home, definitely. Okay, so we're on to number 3 now. This is Bailey. And this is massive. I couldn't find a picture that was really cute of a staffy that had a smiley face and a tongue out and all the things that you normally see with a staffy. So this is the one I put in a description in ChatGPT to find out the one that I wanted, and I couldn't get a smaller picture. It just kept coming out really big. So I had to reduce it when I printed out the picture, and this is what I come out with. Now, looking at it on camera, it looks really, really cool. But when I look at it in real life, I'm actually quite self-critical. So I wasn't a fan for a really long time. But I kept going. I thought, no, it will look good in the end. And this is what I was saying about trust the process. With polymer clay, it sometimes looked like an utter mess until you think, actually, it's coming together. And all of a sudden, it will be what you want it to be. And if it isn't, you'll learn next time. So I've actually had quite an experience with learning how to do this at the same time as teaching other people. And that's what all my channel is all about. I love doing this on the basis that I learn at the same time. Okay, so let's give you a close-up. This is what she looks like close up. And I did pink ears on the inside because she does have pink ears. Making a dog nose, well, that's a fantastically weird experience, but it was fun. I now understand the dynamics of making a polymer clay dog nose. So yeah, that was cool. And then I made her tongue stick out. So what you can see sticking out of this one is a little bit of the nose, and then you've got the tongue there that sticks out a little bit more. I did have to put some tin foil or foil underneath there just to hold it up so it didn't flap down in the oven and sort of, you know, flop and didn't look very good. I wanted it to stick out a little bit, so it gave the impression of kind of like it being 3D again. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is huge. I've no idea what I'm going to do with it. More than likely with all of them, I am going to hang them up because they would be ridiculously too big for the fridge. I do have quite a lot on my fridge now. But I think also when I'm doing lots of things like this, it takes a lot of brain power to think, all right, okay, where's that bit going to go? Where is the chalks going to go on this bit? So originally she was quite orange. And then of course looking at it and you know, looking at her as well, I wanted to make her a little bit more like she actually is in real life, but of course this is still a cartoon representation of her. With the tongue here, I have shaded it in the background, and that does, the further back you go, give the impression that the tongue actually disappears into the mouth rather than just being stuck on. That was a little challenge, but now I also know how to do that. The majority of how you get it to come to life is with chalks. Now it's kind of like drawing, but you have to think where the light's coming from, what's going to be darker, what's going to be lighter, but it's always good to have kind of like an idea of where you're going to put the lighter colours beforehand, and always do the darker first, because then you can blend the light with the dark and then you don't see the edges. So yeah, I actually, I'm glad I've done this, I really am. It's been in the planning for a very long time and I wanted to just try something out that was different. Now, I am not going to be able to hold all of these up together, so I'm going to use link. This is how you create cute animals from paper to polymer clay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Get the wig out the way, out the window. So I've just started drinking cold coffee, which is interesting because I normally drink it hot, which is, I just find it fascinating. The only problem is that it comes in a tiny little can, which only fills this up. So what I normally use and what I normally have is this bucket. So it goes very quickly. So yeah, I drink this. This is what I would class as a thimble-sized coffee. Yeah, I've got a really long straw in it. I don't know why. And if you're seeing this bit now, I haven't even filmed the right bit yet. Thanks for watching the tutorial. Oh, where did that come from? Thanks for watching the tutorial. So this is the show and tell part where I talk about what I've made, what I liked, what I didn't like, and basically how you can do better. Now I'm going to show you them in just a moment, but firstly, if you like my videos, if you've seen me before or haven't seen me before, I know I should have done this in the intro, but I'm a bit backwards like that. I'd love it if you would subscribe. Please write me a comment so I know you're there. And I just, just love it if, yeah, oh my God, I hate asking people to subscribe. I get it so that it also looks 3D without it being 3D. And I love that because if you get into oh my God, I can't talk. It didn't really come to life and still, oh my God. And that is a good sign of also making things look free. But it is definitely a trust the process. There's some tippy tapping going on and made it make, oh my God. I need a drink.